Hey, good morning, everyone. So I am on my way to the most wonderful place on earth, the DMV. You know, it's actually funny to me that the DMV has a Google rating and people actually go online to give their feedback on how they feel the DMV performs. Wanted to take this opportunity to update my driver's license picture just so people would recognize me if they watch the channel. So I have the fifth wheel hooked up to the truck right now, and I wanted to see exactly how this affects the squat on the truck in terms of compressing the Sulastic shackles that I have on here. And in the video I'm going to show you, you'll see that they go to the bump stops, but because they only are about 1/4 of an inch taller than the regular shackles, even when fully compressed, they really don't amount to much squat. So the shackles are currently resting on their bump stops, and the distance between here and here are equal to the length of the factory shackle that's on the truck. So it's maybe a little bit different, but it doesn't lead to much squat because the bump stop in the very back here prevents it from going beyond a certain level. So the reality is when you're towing, they may benefit you a little bit to have the Sulastics, but the reality of it is it really limits how far they can go, and they act as normal shackles at that point. So here is one of the factory shackles, and from center hole to center hole, it's right at 4.5 inches. Let's see what the Sulastic is fully, I guess, decompressed. I don't know if you can see it from here, but it's right at 4 3/4 inches, fully decompressed bolt hole to bolt hole. So that's the real reason why it doesn't impact your cargo capacity, is because the Sulastic is going to extend to its full capability until it hits the bump stop built into it, and it's just not going to allow it to squat any further than that. So you'll probably see 1/4 inch of a difference in squat once you load a fifth wheel or a heavy trailer on the back. So now I'm going to tow it a little bit here and see what type of an impact the Sulastics have. As you can see, they're pretty much fully in their open position. So you're not really going to get much use. Well, no, they're moving now. Yeah, so I'm going over some bumps, and you can see that they're actually still functioning. Let's see here. This is a gravel parking lot, so it's not completely smooth in some areas, and definitely interested in seeing the impact that has on it. So, I'm driving a little bit now. Let's see how these things work over bumps. Yeah, they're still functioning a little bit. So even though they appear to be in their full open position, there's still times when it provides some additional control and helps reduce some of the jarringness that the trailer might otherwise go through. Now here's a rougher segment. Okay, so again, they're still working, but definitely not as much movement when they're completely open like that. Let's go around here. You know, I've been really impressed with these shackles so far. The number one question people have is, how are they going to hold up over time, right? What is the overall lifespan of it going to be? And I know that Sulastic claims that there's roughly 3 to 8 years of life out of them. They have a 10-year warranty on the structure. They have a lifetime warranty on that structure failing, and a 3-year warranty on the rubber. One of the things that I was told by one of the owners of Sulastic is, even though it's a 3-year warranty, that 3-year warranty is anticipating extremely heavy use, such as being put on a chassis cab vehicle or on a very heavy-duty box truck, something that's always going to see a lot of heavy use. Otherwise, the thousands and thousands of these that they've sold, they've had really very, very few complaints. Now, of course, you're going to have the occasional failure. Of course, you're going to have folks that might have a problem or just receive a bad one. And if that's the case, you know, the one thing you want to keep in mind is that, you know, work with them to see if they can get them swapped out for you. And of course, talk about it. Share your experience on the forums. Share your experience with other people. Let other people know what potentially could happen, even if it might be rare. But overall, I'm really impressed at this point with how everything appears to be working. And I'm impressed with how it's towing as well. I'm not noticing any, you know, strange feeling while towing with it. I'm not noticing anything, you know, abnormal with how the suspension is riding. It does actually feel smoother. It feels smoother going over these rocks. And even though my front suspension is still going to feel completely the same as it did stock because I haven't done anything to it, the rear suspension is definitely acting really nice. And now I'm going over a pretty uneven surface here. Let's see how they respond. So if anything, they probably just compressed a little bit more. Now they also use that same rubber compound for the bump stops. So even with the bump stop there, you still have two pieces of rubber that are making contact. So it's not metal on metal. It's actual rubber bump stops that are compressing. But so far, I'm really happy with it. You know, and I really hope these things last me a long time. I do. But the fact is that, you know, even if they fail, heaven forbid, if I'm in a, you know, a situation where I'm driving down the road or towing and they fail, they're going to rest on the bump stop. Anyways, guys, I hope you enjoyed this follow-up video. I know a lot of people were wondering how these would respond once I put my fifth wheel on. But the good thing is it's not overextending the rubber. They hit the bump stops and everything seems to be really solid. I hope you enjoyed this video. If you do, please like my page. Please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Thanks, everyone.